Welcome, and we have the car of the day. Let's take a look.
Okay guys, we are here with the console and I just want you to see this is so simple. Basically, when you open this section right here, what is gonna happen is a two-part. It goes like this. So all you have to do is remove the 6 screws right here and it will fall apart, and that's how you can trim this section right here, right? Now for the bigger part, is the only difference is the cutout, right? So for that guys, we just wanna remove all these screws and you're gonna have access to the bottom section, and that's all it is. Then the trimming can be done, and it's a very simple process. It's not that complicated. If you thought this would be something really complex, or because the pieces are not all available, there you have it guys. It's all it is. Now it's trimmable. We have all exposed. Be careful about this. You have to keep it in position when you assembly all these things too. We have to get this lock off, so when we do the trimming, everything is there. So yeah, it's a little tedious, but that's the way guys. There you have it. Okay guys, I have to make you aware, every single luxury brand that I've been working on, there is always something about this trimming that it makes it complicated. Cadillac didn't disappoint in this case, in this regard. The first thing that you have to be careful is the position of this wire. These are the knobs to open it, the activators, and this thing should be pointing that way towards the back. That's the first thing. Now when you remove all the trimming, these stops are important to put them back, because that's what they hold the corner in place, so the other lid will open and close without interfering in the corners. Now I don't know if vinyl might work here. This is leather, and when you work in leather, the corners tend to rip. That's what the system has been implemented. Now when you load these things back, it's not that simple guys. It has a little tricky way to enter. It enters with pressure. It's not that simple. I want to disassemble this so you can see what I'm talking about, because when you assemble this thing back, it's not as simple as I just said, and I want you to be aware of this. And this is just for this particular Cadillac, but these are key points, very important points, so I wanna demonstrate the complexities. So yeah, this is just be careful guys. This is the first lid, right? Now these ones right here, you have to load them in this angle, enters, and then it falls into the pins, and then you can put back the bolts. This one is no difference, also enters in an angle, it locks, and then you can get it into the little pins, so it gets the right alignment. Then you put the little screws. Now guys, this mechanism, you have to be careful also. This little thing right here sits on this section right here, and the spring goes in this section over here, so be sure that you don't break any of these pins. Is critical. Now this other piece has another pin over here who enters in this little hole, and this thing is just laid down like this. So this one goes here in this other hole, and this piece right here enters in this pin right here. So let me just demonstrate. This one's entered here, this one goes here, and now this pin has to align with this hole, and it has to go in this section right here. So this is the wire that if you are not careful, it's easy to miss the point, put it in the different positions, so be careful guys. Now what I did right here to hold this piece in place, I've been doing this for almost more than 40 years guys. So I've been stretching leather for European cars. I've been doing amazing things with leather. This was not that difficult, but I want to tell you, these corners right here to fold the leather is complex. You can use a little spray of alcohol in the corners. Be careful with it. Test it first. I use shoe stretcher, which is basically alcohol with a little bit of softener. And that's the way that I was able to stretch this, but you still need to put these corners back in. So let me assemble this so you can see. I already explained the whole thing, but let's do it again. So I'm gonna put this one because this has to be there when I align the other pin. It has to be in position. Now it's there, and it's all it is, guys. So just be careful with that wire right there. Now this one has to align in the grooves and goes inside the hole right there. So just like that, see? All in alignment, all the pin is there, everything is perfect. And then we can seal it. And that was the whole process, guys. Once we put all the bolts back in, it will be in alignment. And I just working in the last piece, which is very simple. But the position of that wire right there is critical. So let me put all these bolts, or at least let me hold it with some so you can see what I'm talking about. Not as simple as I thought. It was it took some time. I estimate about an hour, maybe less, I don't know. But I know it's not that easy, guys. Now, the other challenge when you work in this piece is alignment in the double stitch. Because you're gonna cut the center hole. It's two ways you can do it. I cut the center hole first. That made my material going loose, losing the shape slightly. So, and as you can see right here, it kind of bolt. So you have to be able to have enough room to load everything, which is tricky. Now, if you see the lines right here, that's the tricky part, because if you cut the hole, the lines tends to go crooked. So you have to hold the sides, and when you stretch back in, you have to be able to align the stitches. That's the tricky part in this section. Now the last part is very simple. It's just this section goes here, but in the other section of the mechanism, something is like a spring loaded, so when they open it, it kind of pops. So it's on a spring right here. So, and that's why this has to go towards the back. If you put it forward, it's not gonna work. It's this piece right here. I just working in the trimming, but if you notice, this is the piece that I'm talking about. This is the spring loaded, and the piece sits on here in these two groups. So it's obvious that it goes like this, but once it's sealed, it's gonna make pressure, and that's the way that it works. So I just wanna work in my trimming here. And again, guys, I use adhesive. It's easier for these pieces. I know that. That's what I use it that way. So once it's put together, it goes like this. It's very simple. It's not much to it, this piece. But once it's put together and you push the bottom, it will pop. So that's how it works. And that's the system that I wanted to share with you, or my findings in this trimming, because we don't make this often. So now it's locked, so we have to open it up, and it's not that complicated, guys, but you have to be careful about all those things. So when you assemble this thing together, you make it successfully. And just so you don't let the curiosity out, I'm gonna show you how I did it. This is vinyl, this is not leather, guys, and it's already dry. I believe it's still a little moist, but it will work. And this is the way that I'll do these things. I just wanna demonstrate with you guys here, because many of you wonder how this is the easy way or more practical way to make these things. And this is what I'm doing here, guys. I want you to see. I don't pay attention too much to the corners. I'm gonna leave that to the end. I just focus in the 4 points. And again, guys, the adhesive went only in, it was in the vinyl, but it kind of went inside like a three quarters. And then I only spray glue or adhesive in the inner part, nothing in the outer part. So you don't want to have any mark right here because it's no adhesive applying to that section. So because if you put adhesive here, the finish is gonna be not that right. It's gonna look cheap. It's gonna look bad. It's because it's gonna create marks. So you can see how smooth it's going so far. The challenge, guys, is gonna be the corners. Now, how can we tackle it? This is vinyl. The original piece was made on leather, so this is supposed to be more simple, right? Let's see if we can remove all this and get, actually did it, so we don't have a lot of problems here, because what we're looking for is a small and a smooth finishing here, and it seems like we achieve it. Now, the right way to do this after we cut the excess, or the easiest way, I don't want to say the right way, the easiest way will be to start to cut the excess. So we make these kind of cuts and they're gonna overlap one over the other one, and that's the way these things are easy trimmable, just like that. You can see. Now we're gonna hold it with less than a quarter. These are 532s, and I don't have any 532s. I need to load them. Okay, I load the 532s now, and these guys is just to hold it. And now that we have our recipe, we're gonna do the same here. Can you do it better? Yes, you can. Do you have to? No, you don't. So let's proceed with this, same as the other side. All we want is a round corner there, guys. So I don't wanna go and spend too much time in these details. One key thing right here that I just don't want to do is interfere with this little groove. Actually, we have to cut it slightly here around almost to the edge, so we can make room for the wire. Just like that. There. Let's do the same here. You can use your heat gun. Yes, you can use it. I don't see why not. Like I say, guys, it's not that critical. I don't even do it that way right here. I took a different approach, but I didn't really like it. I prefer the other one. See all these things? Not the same as this, right? Now here with the original way, and you can see there is a different finish already there. Okay, now let's seal it. That's our cover. This is our position right here with this thing. We want to put the screws in position. we have two more here. Put and the only reason, guys, that we wanted to make those corners round and smooth is so you don't have an ugly finish. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Is the very edge right there. You have it. The bottom you don't even see it. But there you have it, guys. That's the way that it works. See? And that's what this little spring right here, when you have that wire in that position, the little spring mechanism works. And that's all it does. Make it jump like that. And that was it, guys. There you have it, your console fully trimmed. And now you have an idea how to make it better. If you have a recommendation, if you know a better way, then different than the one that I just demonstrate, let me know, put it in the comments. Or if you need help in any other part of the process, put it in the comments. I'm gonna continue with this assembly and the rest of the trimming.